Session. Today is Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner O'Grady.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. As a reminder, this is a public meeting and is being recorded. For those of you calling in, please ensure that your line is muted. October is recognized as National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Unfortunately, each year, millions of Americans are affected by domestic violence. Here in Franklin County, residents contribute a small fee when they marry, divorce, or annul a marriage, and we are proud to allocate the funds collected from these fees to Choices for Victims of Domestic Violence, one of Ohio's oldest and largest domestic violence shelters. Today, we are honored to have Dr. Maria Houston Beck, the Executive Director from Choices, here to accept these funds and share more about the critical services that they provide. I'd like to invite Maria to speak at the podium here now, and afterward, turn it over to OMB Director Zach Telerik to present the resolution. Dr. Beck?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Board President Bryce, Commissioner O'Grady, and Commissioner Crawley, and all distinguished guests. Good morning to you. On behalf of LSS Choices, Victims of Domestic Violence, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to your ongoing recognition of the importance of domestic violence awareness and for your support of our work. Just last year, we provided services to 975 people, offering over 66,000 nights of shelter, and we received and responded to more than 4,000 crisis calls. Your commitment to helping individuals and families in need allows us to continue providing those critical services, offering hope, fostering stability for our community. Your partnership strengthens our ability to uplift those facing imminent danger, and for that, we are deeply grateful. Together, we are making a difference. In closing, before the holidays last year, a resilient survivor came into shelter, pregnant with her 4th child, and facing a high-risk pregnancy. She was unable to work due to doctor's orders, but shortly after, she was quickly accepted into our transitional housing program. Soon after that, she gave birth via C-section. She never stopped working towards her goal of independence. Determined to create a better future, she found full-time employment and began searching for permanent housing alongside our case managers. Though she encountered setbacks, being turned away from several housing options, she refused to let that discourage her. Finally, she found the home she said she had been praying for. And in April of this year, she received the news that her new home had passed the inspection and that she could pick up her keys the very next morning. This is a powerful symbol of unlocking the future, unlocking a future free from fear, because love shouldn't hurt. Board of Commissioners, we thank you for standing with us, standing with the survivors, and helping us to do the work that we do in an unwavering support way. Thank you.
Thank you. I think, stay up there, Dr. Beck. I'm sorry, Commissioner O'Grady, do you have anything you want to add first?
Yeah, I would, appreciate the work that you do in the community. Oh, thank you. Appreciate the work that you do in the community. Appreciate the work that you do on behalf of the families, not only the women, but the families in this community. I'm the youngest of 12 kids, and I've told the story here before, but, when growing up, I had 7 sisters and 4 brothers. And my brothers and I, my dad taught us that any man who hits a woman is less of a man. And I carried that with me my whole life. We weren't allowed to touch our sisters, no matter how badly they taunted us. And believe me, they did. Believe me, they did. But I carried that with me my whole life, and we've raised our children the same way. Not only our sons, but our daughters. With the work that we do here with, at the Board of Commissioners, we see this day in and day out, and the rise of domestic violence in our communities, not just our community here, but the communities across the state and across the country. And I think about that all the time, and I just kind of goes back. I remember my dad constantly drilling that into us as youngsters that and I just think that's a lesson that more young men should heed and should be taught as youngsters, because of all the different things that go on in our community day in and day out, this is one of the ones that really gets me, because families should be families, and this is something that just eats at me. So appreciate the work that you're doing on behalf of the families in this community.
Thank you so much.
And I'll just add to one, thanks Commissioner Grady for bringing up the impact that domestic has, not only on the direct victim, but the family. And I don't enjoy sharing this story, but I always feel somewhat compelled to, that my father was a victim of domestic violence and was actually murdered in a domestic violence scenario where he went to the rescue of a female cousin of his that was being abused, only to get her and the children safe in a safety area, to where then the I don't know, the criminal, I don't know what he would call what the right word is, but he came and killed both my father, shot my father and my aunt, or cut his cousin, we called her aunt, not Jackie. He killed both of them and tried to kill the children, and the gun jammed. And we got Veteran Affairs here. My dad was a two-time Vietnam vet that comes home and has his life taken in his own community by somebody that looks like him in a domestic violence situation. He was trying to protect her. And so my point is that there's probably nothing in my life that's affected me more than that situation. I was 7 when that happened. And so I was at that age where you can remember everything. I mean, it's probably about where my age starts of memory. But that's my that day is like yesterday to me. I remember everything about it. And then there's always this element where I was actually supposed to be with him at that time. And so, domestic violence is something that is just not acceptable as humans. It doesn't matter where you live or who you are, what color you are, how much money you have or resources you have. It really is something that, as humans, for humanity, we have to do better. But when people are in scenarios or situations where these lesser people, as Commissioner Grady put it, want to take that kind of action, it's up to all of us to undergird those victims and support them, not just the direct victim, but the entire family, and make sure that, and honestly, that's why we invest in choices. It's one of those things, it's very few things do we have dedicated resources where we connect a fee directly to some work. Generally, we like to have, because as commissioners, we don't know what decisions we're going to have to make year to year. We don't know what the economy is going to be like. We don't know what emergency is going to be like. And so the more funds that we have earmarked or dedicated to something, the less we have resources to make tough decisions. And so we rarely like to tie a fee to an action because it ties our hands when things get real tight. But this is one of those areas where, quite frankly, I think we do it with passion, we do it with understanding, and we do it understanding that without it, the impact on our economy, the impact on our system, the pull and drain on life and humanity in general is lesser, and so we do it in a way that, in my opinion, will never go away. It will always be a priority for us because of the work and the value of the sanctity of the family unit and what it means. And so I just want to encourage you, Dr. Beck, to continue your work, continue fighting for those victims, fighting for those families, and we'll do our part to continue to invest in the system that you are leading.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I think D.C. Bivens wanted to add something.
And thank you for that. Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator of Health and Human Services. Love shouldn't hurt. Thank you for sharing that. I know that many times we focus on domestic violence predominantly, and I don't know the data, Dr. Beck, so you have to correct me. When we look at domestic violence offenders, many times it is male, correct?
Most times, but statistics will show that men are 1 in 7 times the victim of domestic violence as
Okay.
well.
So the reason why I asked that question is two things. One of the things we're trying to do is make sure that we're being preventive in the work that we're doing in the spaces. I know that David Kimbrough is in the room, and we're having a soul talk on relationships. This all starts in relationships. And we believe that there are some things that you can teach us as we're having these soul talks as topics to educate young men and men on, as well as young women in some of the other spaces that we serve in. And if you all would be willing to do that, so that as we're having these conversations in the community, we can assist by being, putting those messages out and putting the resources out so that we can mitigate some of this, because, domestic violence is something that, it starts with, I always tell my kids this. I said, many times you see domestic violence, it didn't start with a shove, it started with words.
Yes.
And then those words compounded with physical aggression. And these are things we need to educate young people on as well.
Yeah.
So, David, can you get with her? Okay, thank you.
It would be an honor and a privilege.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We would
you.
love to see if you could come to our Soul Talk when we talk about relationships.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. I know that Zach Talarikis has resolution, but before we proceed, I want to remind anyone that is listening or here today that if you're experiencing domestic violence, or if you know someone who is, the Choices provides a 24-hour crisis hotline at 614-224-HOME. That's 614-224-HOME. Yep. Sorry.
Resolution number
Wait.
78924. Resolution authorizing Choices for Victims of Domestic Violence Incorporated to receive the fees collected in 2025 for the support of shelters for victims of domestic violence.
Good morning, Commissioners. This resolution authorizes Choices to receive the $17 fee for each marriage license issued and $32 fee for each action or proceeding of annulment, divorce, or dissolution of marriage that is collected in 2025 to provide financial assistance for domestic violence shelters. These fees are referred to as Senate Bill 46 collections, and their distribution is authorized by Section 3113.35 of the revised code. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
Yeah, how much is it? What's the
This year's distribution was about $270,000.
Okay, great.
If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 78924.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 78924 has been adopted.
Great. Thank you for being here, Dr. Beck.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Dr. Beck.
Engineer, we have a public hearing on the resolution before us, 790-224. Can the clerk please read the public hearing?
Resolution regarding establishing, altering, and widening of Case Road, Township Road number 1066, Sale Road, Township Road number 1067, Minnie Avenue, Township Road number 1068, and Dresden Street, Township Road number 1069, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio, viewed. Engineer to file plans as necessary.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to open up the public hearing for this resolution. Is there anyone here in the audience who would like to speak at this public hearing? Okay, seeing that there are none, I'd like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the resolution into the record.
Resolution number 79024, establishing, altering, and widening of Case Road, Township Road number 1066, Sale Road, Township Road number 1067, Minnie Avenue, Township Road number 1068, and Dresden Street, Township Road number 1069, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio, viewed. Engineer to file plans as necessary.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brad Foster, Franklin
Morning.
County Engineer. On September 17, 2024, the board adopted a resolution declaring necessary Case Road, Sale Road, and Minnie Avenue, and Dresden Street to improve drainage along these roadways. On October 8, 2024, the Board of the Commissioners viewed said improvement project. This resolution authorizes the engineer to prepare plans necessary for the construction of this project and represents the second step in the legislative process. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 79024.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 79024 has been adopted. Resolution number 79124, report fifth of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Runner Road, County Road number 27, from Alton and Darby Creek Road, County Road number 272, to Spindler Road, County Road number 153, Improvement Project, Norwich Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $34,976.
Commissioners, this resolution seeks compensation for 4 property owners abutting the Renner Road from Alton Darby Creek Road to Spindler Road Improvement Project. This is the Franklin County Transportation Improvement District project and is funded by OPWC along with private development dollars and is located in Norwich Township. The project seeks to improve Renner Road with the addition of a 2-way left-hand turn lane, drainage upgrades, pedestrian infrastructure, and the replacement of the structure over Clover Grove Run. We negotiated with the property owners and compensation is based upon appraised fair market value. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 79124.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 79124 has been adopted. Resolution number 79224, report sixth of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation and damages for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Runner Road, County Road number 27, from Alton and Darby Creek Road, County Road number 272, to Spindler Road, County Road number 153, Improvement Project, Norwich Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $2,526.
Commissioners, this resolution, report number 6, along with our next 2 resolutions, Report 7 and Report 8, are similar in nature and seek compensation for the property owners abutting the Renner Road at Alton Darby Creek to Spindler Road Improvement Project. We recommend that appropriation proceedings be initiated for the acquisitions of these parcels in order to keep the project on schedule for construction. And we will continue to work closely with the prosecutor's office, and negotiations with property owners will continue. This project went out to bid today, and we are anticipating the bid opening on October 29th, with most of the work taking place in 2025. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 79224.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yeah.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 79224 has been adopted. Resolution number 79324, report seventh of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation and damages for a portion of owners of property abutting the Runner Road, County Road number 27, from Alton and Darby Creek Road, County Road number 272, to Spindler Road, County Road number 153, Improvement Project, Norwich Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $13,950.
Commissioners, this resolution seeks compensation for 1 property owner abutting the Renner Road from Alton Darby Creek to Spindler Road Improvement Project. This resolution is similar in nature to the resolution previously presented. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 79324.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 79324 has been adopted. Resolution number 79424, report eighth of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation and damages for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Runner Road, County Road number 27, from Alton and Darby Creek Road, County Road number 272, to Spindler Road, County Road number 153, Improvement Project, Norwich Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $7,633.
Commissioners, this resolution seeks compensation for 1 property owner abutting the Renner Road from Alton Darby Creek to Spindler Road Improvement Project. The resolution is similar in nature to Resolution 0792-24 and 0793-24 as previously presented. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 793.24.
Commissioner
794.24, sorry.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 794-24 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sheriff.
Resolution number 796-24, resolution authorizing a 4-year contract with Motorola Solutions Incorporated for the continued service and maintenance of the Franklin County Sheriff's Office radio communications system in the amount of $968,881.
Sorry.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Albert Smith, Assistant Finance Director for the Sheriff's Office. Our first resolution authorizes a contract with Motorola Solutions. They are the provider of maintenance and service to the proprietary hardware and software that comprises the Franklin County Sheriff's Office radio communication system. This contract will allow them to continue maintenance and service through January 31st of 2028 and will not exceed $968,881. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 796-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 796-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 797-24, resolution authorizing 2 contracts with the Ohio Attorney General for use of the National Web Check Program to administer criminal background checks in the amount of $1,650,000.
Commissioners, our next resolution approves contracts that will continue our relationship with the Ohio Attorney General to allow us to utilize the National Web Check Program. It permits various employers and residents to obtain criminal background checks in order to be eligible for licensing, employment, and other volunteer activities. In addition, it is utilized by our concealed carry permit office. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 797-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 797-24 has been adopted.
Thank you. Next is the Franklin County Data Center.
Resolution number 799-24, resolution authorizing the sale of end-of-life cell phones to eCycle Incorporated in exchange for cell phone bill credit in the amount of $5,329.
Good morning, Julie Lest with the Data Center, and with me today is Data Center CIO Adam Frumpkin. This resolution approves 58 mobile phones that have reached end of useful life as approved by the Automatic Data Processing Board to be recycled for a Verizon bill credit in the amount of $5,329. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 799-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 799-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 800-24, resolution authorizing a 5-year agreement with Ornet for the procurement of VMware Cloud Foundation 5 in the amount of $607,200.
Thank you. And this resolution approves a 5-year agreement with the Ohio Academic Resource Network through the Ohio State University for the procurement of VMware virtualization software used to manage over 650 virtual servers that support the county's operations. The technology has been approved by the Automatic Data Processing Board, and the 5-year commitment will not exceed $607,200. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 824.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 800-24 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Veteran Services.
Resolution number 801-24, resolution authorizing a partnership with Central Ohio Veterans Stand Down and the Franklin County Convention Facilities Authority in sponsoring the 2024 Annual Central Ohio Veterans Stand Down at the Greater Columbus Convention Center.
Good morning. I know there's a button here somewhere in there. There we go. Good morning, Commissioners, Franklin County leaders and staff. Today's resolution builds on a long tradition of events called stand downs, in which the VA and other partners provide services, support, and comfort to veterans in need. The first stand down is thought to have occurred in 1988 in California. Our own tradition, our event's been going strong since 1995. The Franklin County Board of County Commissioners has been a proud supporter of the stand down for many years. You also continuously demonstrate this commitment to our resident veterans, dependents, widows, and widowers. as a recent generous contributor to the newly unveiled Ohio Gold Star Families Memorial Monument at the National Veterans Memorial Museum, to the past Central Ohio Veterans Day Parade, which has evolved to a new and exciting event called the Millvets Columbus Franklin County Veterans Day Rally, November 10th, at National Veterans Memorial Museum. Mark your calendars. And to the day-to-day support of my agency, the Franklin County Veterans Service Commission, as we provide financial assistance to veterans in need and guide them in applying for veterans benefits, most commonly through the VA. So here to me today to speak about the stand down is our Executive Director, Dan Willis, who has generously donated his time and effort leading this great initiative for the last 20 years. This event really rides on his shoulders, and he'd like to say a few comments.
Good morning. I was 15 when I started. A friend of mine, Frank Vaughn from Pomeroy, who has since passed, always started his talks out with, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." I want to thank the Franklin County Commissioners for your support. I thank Paul Kearns. I thank the Greater Columbus Convention Center. I thank all the sponsors that we have that make this program happen every year. Next year will be our 30th year of support for our veterans in Franklin County. We're pleased. Welcome. Just wanted to say hi. Couple things that we're doing differently that I think than other organizations do, but we were very proud of the fact we do surveys for our providers, our guests, and everyone that's a part of our program. Several years ago, the women veterans decided they wanted a separate space upstairs at the convention center, so we did that with the women's clinic at the VA. Our survey last year said the women wanted to be a part of the main hall, Hall C and D, and be integrated into that. I have a sponsor who's creating a space specifically. It's going to look like a car show with carpet in there. That's the only place that's going to have carpet, so that women can still have a place that they can talk about gender-specific issues and get support from the Women's VA Clinic and all the other vendors that are there. So we're really proud of the fact that we're reintegrating them back into the main hall, and it was their request to do that. The other thing that we're doing a little differently this year, and been working very hard at it, is, let's see, what do you want to call it? Employee resource group, vendor employee resource group, business employee resource group. The museum just did a summit a couple weeks ago on those VERGs. And so what we're doing is we're reaching out to companies who have veterans that are in their employ to invite them to help us volunteer, set up the space, volunteer doing other issues. Because if we can get them in the facility, then they can tell their HR people, this is what they can do to help the veterans in our companies. So we're working really hard to do that type of outreach at that level. We're still working with VFWs and American Legions and auxiliaries and all the other organizations. But that one area has not been tapped into yet, the business, and we will always have veterans working for businesses. So we're working with those employer resource groups as much as we possibly can to show the benefit that we can offer their HR people that they don't have the resources to do. So we're really proud of the fact that we're doing that this year. The other thing is, so I talk under an hour, I printed this off myself for you so you can see, it's in printing right now, but this is what I did for you guys. It shows you on the back how we do 154,000 square feet of space, which is how many football fields? 5, okay? You can see that the VA Medical is one of the largest sections that we have. The other thing I think that's really important is we do a marketing piece early in the year that's also in the back of your handout that I gave you. These are faces of people that we serve. We have a photographer, Dave Paul, who works with Fran Ryan and other people, and he takes pictures on his own for us that we market our veteran people as we sell our program right here. So those are real people that come to our program. But what's important is on the back side, but I thought I'd give you a summary of all the 13 different services that we offer our veterans at our program every year. And we're increasing things like housing and different types of services like that. So you can see what it is that we provide to our veterans when they come into our program. Again, I'm very proud of the fact that we have a flag program. Fort Hays Career Center, Junior Air Force ROTC is a part of it, to talk about my kids. Jones Middle School, 8th graders. It's a tough crowd to talk to at 8:30 in the morning. They're 8th graders. Anyways, they write thank you notes to our veterans, and we wrap it around Girl Scout cookies and give it to our guests. We have OSU nursing students who are taught to listen rather than talk to our veterans, so they learn how to work with veterans. The Fort Hays Career Center kids, the Junior Air Force ROTC, act as personal concierge for our guests and stay with them the entire time. So the whole point of this is how do we teach kids who are at that point of learning about stuff the value of veterans. How do we teach them that? So, like the 8th graders, I taught them how to talk to veterans. Are you ready? I'll teach everybody. There are 3 questions you have to ask a veteran, and it works every time. First of all, what branch of the service were you in? Second, where were you located? Number 3, what was your job? They'll talk to you for 5 hours. But we wanted to give kids an opportunity to figure out, how can I talk to a veteran once I find out that there's a veteran that's there? And it works all the time. So again, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. We're very proud of what we're doing. We appreciate your support, and I want you to know that 100%, like I tell everybody, 100% of all donations go to serve our veterans. We're all volunteers that run the program. There are 23 people on our committee that make this happen every year at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. So thank you. Questions?
Just comments, I think, and I'd like to, I'm sure Commissioner Crawley, who's our resident veteran here,
Yes.
I'll let her bring it home at the end here. But I just, again, thank you for what you do. You were talking about teaching them how to appreciate veterans, but also to appreciate service. You know, not everyone has the capacity to serve in the military. And so there are so many ways to serve your country, so many ways to serve your community. And I think what veterans represent is the highest standard of service. You know, when you can be in a situation where you put your life on the line, but representing a bigger cause that is our country, our democracy. But there's so many ways that what you're teaching those young people is also about service, and we appreciate and value that. And then for the veterans, they're just, you know, I feel like in the government world, we talk a lot about upholding and uplifting our veterans, but I always feel like we never do enough. Always feel like we just come short of really putting the resources and the necessary things that veterans need to be successful in life. I just feel like we always can do more. And so what you represent is that extra step, that extra layer of getting closer to a semblance of what we should be doing for our veterans. And so I want to recognize and thank you both for that. Commissioner O'Grady might have some, then I'll let Commissioner
Can I
Clark
add to
back on.
that very quickly? This is what I talk to adults about. It takes roughly a year plus to learn how to be a good soldier. And it continues and you get better and you get better and you get better. It only takes 2 weeks to learn how to be a civilian because you're not valued the same on your way out. So that means who's going to be responsible for caring for our veterans? It's our communities that's going to be responsible for serving our veterans because they have no value to the government at that point. This is why we do what we do. Somebody has to step up and say, we're here to help you with whatever your needs are, and be proud of the fact that you're a veteran of our community. We don't think about it that way, but that's how it is.
You know, Dan, first of all, I appreciate what you're doing with the kids and teaching them about the veterans. That's great stuff. People don't think about doing that, and I appreciate you doing that. But the thing I love about the stand down is you come here every year, and instead of just telling us, "Oh, we're here again for the stand down," you don't stand pat. You know, you guys add to the stand down every year. It's not, here we are again. Here's the stand down again. This is what we're doing to add to the stand down to make it better than it was last year. And you know, it's not just, hey, we're passing out boots, or hey, we're giving these guys haircuts. This is, you know, just like we did last year. You guys add to it every year to make it better every year, and that's fantastic. That's one of the I look forward every year to learning what you guys are doing this year to make it better than it was last year. So great work, great job. We appreciate all you're doing on behalf of the veterans. And so, you know, every time Buck comes here, I like to pat Buck on the back and tell him what a great job he's doing. But, you know, when you come here, it's, you know, Buck just gets to stand in the back and let you go. So, great. That's right. Great job. We appreciate it. And thank you for
You're
everything
welcome.
you're doing.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for being here, as always. I look forward to this event and being in community with other veterans. I do want to say something to piggyback off of what you said about no value to the government. There are a lot of veterans who feel like the only time they felt like they were someone or had value was when they served. and put on a uniform, and then when they took off the uniform, maybe they don't have people in their lives, or they went back to a community where they felt like, I'm no one, I don't have value, didn't have the supportive services that they needed to transition back into civilian life, and may have struggled. And so coming to Stand Down and being able to have a number of resources available to them where people are like, I want to help you, let me help you, tell me what it is that you need or how I can be a value add. You just don't know the impact that that has on someone. It will make their whole year, right? And so we don't take these things and should not take these things for granted. I too believe, as Commissioner Boyd said, that we just do not do enough for veterans. And I think we have a county that is very much putting our veterans at the forefront and prioritizing them. And Buck, you do a great job. Your team does a great job. But there's always things that we can continue to do for our veterans. I will always say there should not be a homeless veteran. There should just not be. There should not be a veteran in our shelters. There should not be a veteran that's couch surfing. There should not be a veteran that's on our street or in a tent camp. It just should not exist, and it does. There should not be a veteran that's looking for food. It happens every day, and it breaks my heart because it takes something. It takes something to raise your hand, to swear an oath, to put your life on the line. To go over and see, other lands and things that happen over there and then have to come back and live with that. That doesn't go away. It's not like you leave a Desert Storm. It's not like you leave in Afghanistan or in Iraq, or you're on a ship that is bombed and you continue to live and then you come back and you're a veteran and that's over. It's not over. It's not over. And, when it comes to our veterans, they understand the sacrifice, they understand the service. And as a veteran, or even when you are active duty, service doesn't stop. It's not just like you put on a uniform and you're serving your country. A lot of veterans who served, I served active duty, and my first volunteer position was with Life Care Alliance, serving meals for the homeless. So when I had a break, I would do it on my lunch time. I would go and deliver meals, and then sometimes I would do it on the weekends, right? Like, service was instilled in us even though we were serving our country. And that is the value that we can instill in our youth. We know that our students are not signing up for the armed services like they were before. It is a pathway, and it should be seen as one, just like going to college or going into the trades. I know we lift up the trades a lot, but I feel like we should be lifting up going into the military just as much as we lift up all of the other career paths. Sometimes better than, right? Like, I had a $40,000 college bonus. Some people had a $50,000 signing bonus. I had the GI Bill. I had the Montgomery GI Bill. I had the post 9/11 GI Bill. It paid for some of my undergrad, and it paid for some of my master's degree and my legal schooling. My children get to benefit from my service as well as their father's service to pay for their education. I mean, there are so many benefits, and outside of just students learning what it means to protect this country, but it also puts them on a pathway to be able to provide for themselves and their families. And so, they get to learn all these things through Stand Down and through your efforts. And you don't have to do this. Like I said that last year, you don't have to do this, but it is a passion that you have. And so thank you for your service. Sure. And thank you for showing up for veterans. Sure. Thank you for lifting this up. Thank you for meeting the needs of our residents each and every day. And so always happy to support this resolution. And I look forward to seeing you at Stand Down.
On behalf of the committee, thank you. But let me tell you, this program guide has the current information of people who come to our program every year, provide support to our veterans. So when they take it home, they can use it as a reference all year long for any service that they need. And also to encourage all of you to come to Stand Down on October 22nd at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. Dave Gilmore. Who is Dave Gilmore? He is Ohio Dairy Queen, and he brings blizzards and all those wonderful things every year to our program. So we'd be glad to see you at our program too on the 22nd.
Yeah, he has dilly bars, so
Yes,
it's
he
always
does.
good. Yeah.
Wait, did you say blizzards?
Yes?
Okay. Okay, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
again for coming down today.
If I can add one last thing. Army 6-0.
Oh, here we go.
Navy is still 5-0.
I just got here.
I know we don't want to talk about the Browns.
It's going to be a good.
It's good.
No, we can talk about the Browns.
Bengals have a pulse, and the Steelers have some momentum. So I'm going to leave it at there.
Well,
I think I tried to make friends with everybody to a point, but I know I picked
Yeah,
up.
that didn't work.
I think you said it all. I think you summed it up very well.
I'm
actually.
always going to be for the midshipmen. I'm always going to be for our midshipmen.
It's going to be a good game this year.
So, yeah. Thank you so much.
Go Black Knights. All right.
I'm
Did
for
we
the
read the
midship.
resolution into the record? We did? All right. If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 80124.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes,
Resolution number 80124 has been adopted.
thank you. And we'll go back to the sheriff.
Resolution number 79524, resolution authorizing a consultant contract extension with The Ohio State University for crime research services in the amount of $97,500.
Commissioners, our last resolution will allow our office to continue to collaborate with the Ohio State University for the purpose of crime analysis. Our office has a continued need for spatial analysis of crime and violence in support of hotspot policing to combat violent crime in Franklin County. Funding has been earmarked in our 2022 American Rescue Plan grant. The service will be extended through December 31st of 2025 and will not exceed $97,500. If any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 79524.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Abstain.
Resolution number 79524 has been adopted with Commissioner Boyce's noted abstention.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Treasurer's office.
Resolution number 79824, resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for the Franklin County Land Bank.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Julie Collins, and I'm the Director of Human Resources for the Franklin County Treasurer. And this is Naomi Galindez, our new Budget and Purchasing Coordinator. The Franklin County Treasurer's Office is seeking supplemental appropriations in the amount of $82,396 from the Delinquent Tax Assessment and Collection Fund to provide funding for the second half payment to the Central Ohio Community Improvement Corporation. 5% of all collections of delinquent real property, personal property, manufactured, and mobile home taxes and assessments are allocated to the DTAC fund to be dispersed to the Central Ohio Community Improvement Corporation, or COSIC, to support the operations of the Franklin County Land Bank. These funds will provide ongoing funding to COSIC to continue their efforts towards creating and preserving affordable housing for the residents of Franklin County. We respectfully ask for your approval. Thank you.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 79824.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Abstain.
Resolution number 79824 has been adopted with Commissioner Boyce's noted abstention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Office of Aging.
Resolution number 80224, resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for board and care expenditures.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Larice Cohens, Chief Financial Officer for the Franklin County Office on Aging. Here with me I have today our wonderful Director, Shonda Wingo, of the Franklin County Office on Aging. Well, I'll make a great point. We are one of the best agencies in Franklin County. The Franklin
You can
County
move that
Office.
podium down if you need to. It's almost covering it. You have, there's a little button on the side there. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
The Franklin County Office on Aging provides a wide range of services aimed at helping older adults, dependent individuals, and their families maintain independence. Through its Senior Options Program, FCOA offers home-delivered meals, transportation, emergency response systems, in-home support, along with a home repair program to ensure safety for seniors. Additionally, caregiver and kinship support services are available for those caring for older adults and minor children, enhancing the well-being of both seniors and their caregivers. In response to a growing demand and unforeseen challenges, FCOA is seeking a $6.3 million supplemental appropriation to support its board and care expenses. This funding is crucial as Franklin County's 60 and older population is projected to nearly double from 2020 to 2040, according to the Ohio Department of Aging. Currently, FCOA serves 14,667 seniors through its primary programs, but this number continues to rise monthly. Since the inception of the current levy cycle, our agency has experienced a cost and service rates for all of our service contracts. These cost and rates, rising costs are labor materials, supplies, labor rates affecting in-home services, transportation, nutrition supplies, home repair, incontinence supplies, and durable medical equipment. This resolution authorizes a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for board and care expenditures in the amount of $6.3 million to sustain the FCOA's crucial role in providing essential services and to support older adults, dependent individuals, and their families in Franklin County. This resolution supports goal number 9 and 10 of the Franklin County Rise Together Blueprint, and pending any questions, we seek your approval of this resolution today.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 80224.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 80224 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Economic Development Planning.
Resolution number 80324, resolution authorizing an agreement with the Central Ohio Community Land Trust to conduct affordable housing development activities on behalf of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners in the amount of $2,871,419.70.
Good morning, Commissioners. Emmanuel Torres, Assistant Director of Economic Development and Planning. In April of 2020, this board adopted Resolution number 291-20, which was amended then in December of 2021 by Resolution number 94221 to provide a total collectively of $4.75 million in grant funds to the Land Trust to develop approximately 30 long-term affordable homes. The Land Trust encountered considerable increased costs and delays in its construction efforts, and due to the need to expend unanticipated time and resources to bring the construction sites into buildable condition, the term of their contract expired on December of 2022 with an unexpended balance of $2,871,419.70. Prior to the expiration of that contract, the Land Trust completed construction of 14 homes ranging between 50% and 110% AMI. The Land Trust has since developed many more homes from the end of 2022 until the present time, and this resolution will allow invoices to be processed for the work that occurred in 2023 and early 2024. The grant agreement will run from July 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2025, and it will allow the Land Trust to complete the project as originally intended. With us today, representing Central Ohio Community Land Trust, we have Vice President of Programs and Housing, Hope Paxton, and President and CEO Curtis Williams, who would like to share a few words about their efforts. And after their remarks, pending any questions, I would respectfully request the approval of this resolution.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Good morning.
Good morning.
If I can take the liberty to thank you all for what you do. It's been a while since I've been to a general session meeting. As you know, I used to sit here and participate in these meetings. I continually stand in awe of the impact that you have on people's lives. So you probably don't hear it enough, but let me say thank you. Thank you for the residents, from the residents of Franklin County and from our organization. What you are doing by supporting us is touching people's lives to a great degree. A lot of folks that come to buy homes from the Land Trust never ever thought they were going to be able to buy a home. Never. And your support of this particular program, it fulfills dreams, fulfills wishes, and when you look at the faces of the folks, the families that come through our program that you support, it gets somewhat emotional, especially when they start crying. especially when they put their heads down and said, I never ever thought I could do this. So thank you for your support. Thank you for creating the Community Land Trust. And it's an amazing program. The demand for housing, as you know, is high. Affordable housing is even higher. The importance of developing in communities that have been neglected over the past few years is important. And the demand continues to be high, the interest by developers and communities throughout Franklin County for our particular product, it's amazing. We are getting calls constantly from private developers to build products in subdivisions on the outskirts of Columbus and Franklin County. We are getting calls from other communities, suburban communities, that want this particular product because of the need for housing in their communities. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for supporting this particular program. We'll be glad to answer any questions.
Okay.
Commissioner Boyce, do you have anything you want?
Yeah, oh, thank you. I would just say thank you for all that you all are doing to make sure that people have a pathway to home ownership. I agree that there are people out here who are like, think that there's only traditional ways to buy a home. I have to have a 800 credit score. I have to make this amount of money for income. And that just seems like a tall, mountain to climb. And so understanding that COSIG offers, and some of our other partners offer programs to help with building your credit score, and then financial literacy, and then being able to purchase a home, and then also being able to leave with some of the equity in the home. But then also you all make these homes, or try to make some of them, affordable into perpetuity. And, we don't see that all over the country. I know that this is an innovative tool that we have right here in Franklin County, and there are other counties that do it, but it's not widespread all across the country in a way that we would like to see. And so, but for your programs and offerings, people might still be renting and finding themselves in situations paying higher rent, or possibly getting evicted. And home ownership, that's part of the American dream. And so you are showing people that they can, have access and live the American dream right here in Franklin County. And that's invaluable. So thank you for all that you all are doing to, meet the needs of our community so they can thrive and not just survive. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
COCSC's been a long road. It's been, how many years now? It's been it's got to be a dozen years or more now.
About that long. We started in 2005. But 2012, we became a land bank. And the land trust has started in 2019.
So there's a little bit of history there, but it's been a while. It's been a while, and there's been a track record. There's been a few bumps in the road here and there, but it's we've continued to persevere, and so along with Commissioner Crowley, I'd like to thank you guys for all the hard work you guys are doing to make some dreams some realities for some folks. There's it's taken a lot of hard work and a lot of diligence from a lot of folks, and so appreciate that and keep up the good work. And I know my representative keeps me informed on a regular basis of all the work that you guys are doing, and so thank you for all that. So.
And I would say the same for mine. Sorry, I can't leave you out. DCA Bivens, my appointee on the board, she does keep me well aware of what is going on as soon as she leaves the meetings. But would love to sit down with you and hear your vision.
Absolutely.
near future.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Love to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, if there are no other comments or questions, I will move approval of Resolution 80324.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 80324 has been adopted. Resolution number 80424, resolution responding to the September 27, 2024 notice received concerning the proposed creation of 2 tax increment financing incentive districts in the city of New Albany.
Commissioners, the City of New Albany seeks to create 2 TIF incentive districts, the Hamlet Incentive District Number 1 and the Hamlet Incentive District Number 2, to support the construction of a new residential development project. Formal notice to the board was received on September 27, 2024, that the 2 proposed TIF districts would be created for a term of 30 years, and that the percentage exempted from taxation would be 100%. Pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 5709.40E2, the Franklin County Board of Commissioners may object to TIF districts proposed for more than 10 years, or where the percentage of the improvements exempted from taxation would exceed 75%. This board recognizes that TIF districts with residential components place a strain on various social service levy agencies in Franklin County as revenue is redirected and do not recognize potential service increases. Thus, through this resolution, the Franklin County Board of Commissioners formally objects to the exemption in excess of 10 years for each of the proposed Hamlet Incentive District Number 1 and Hamlet Incentive District Number 2. The board seeks compensation in years 11 through 30 of the proposed TIF districts for the various social service levy agencies. This resolution also directs the staff to work with the City of New Albany to negotiate a compensation agreement for the 2 proposed districts. Should the City of New Albany proceed to create the 2 TIF districts without reaching a compensation agreement, the county shall be compensated by the default rate as set in Section 5709.40E2 of the Ohio Revised Code. Lastly, it instructs the clerk to certify a copy of this resolution to the City Council of the City of New Albany within 30 days of the notice from the City of New Albany. One additional comment, staff would like to confirm that the proposed TIF districts are non-school TIFs, and that the applicable portion of the service payments made in lieu of taxes would be distributed to the New Albany Plain Local School District and the Eastern Fairfield Career Center accordingly. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no further comments or questions, I will move approval of Resolution 80424.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 80424 has been adopted. Resolution number 80524, review of petition to annex 3.5 acres, more or less, from Madison Township to the City of Columbus, case number ANX-16-24.
Commissioners, this next resolution is to consider case number ANX 1624. This is an expedited Type 2 annexation petition of approximately 3.5 acres from Madison Township to the City of Columbus. The area to be annexed includes the site located at 5656 Bixby Road. 44% of the site's perimeter is contiguous to the City of Columbus, and the City of Columbus has passed an ordinance indicating that services will be provided once the annexation is approved. The petition meets all statutory requirements outlined in Section 709.021 of the Ohio Revised Code. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I can move Resolution 80524.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 80524 has been adopted. Resolution number 80624, resolution authorizing the Franklin County Administrator to execute on behalf of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Diane M. Moore at 1316 Oak Park Drive, Galloway, Ohio 43119.
Commissioners, this last resolution, again, Ms. Diane M. Moore received a housing assistance grant in 2015 from this board in the amount of $15,000. The approval of this release of mortgage lien is recommended based on the associated loan documentation that was provided, showing that the terms of the loan have been satisfied in conjunction with a $3,000 payment made by the mortgagor. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
There are no comments or questions on the approval of Resolution 80624.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 80624 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 80724, resolution authorizing a professional service contract agreement with Tabitha Slayton for peer support and case management services for residents served through Safer Station in the amount of $10,296.
Good morning, Commissioners. Caitlin Looney, Deputy Director of Justice Services with the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. The Safer Station initiative works to link community members with substance use treatment, harm reduction, education, and community resources. The team has greatly expanded its outreach efforts over the last year and is seeking to expand its team to meet the growing requests for these services in the community. Ms. Slayton is a peer supporter with lived experience similar to those we seek to serve. She brings with her a background in providing trauma-informed care and cultivating deep relationships in the community. We know Ms. Slayton will be an exceptional addition to the multidisciplinary team at Safer Station, with this contract running through the end of the calendar year. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
There are no comments or questions on the approval of Resolution 80724.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 80724 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Human Resources.
Resolution number 80824, resolution authorizing a contract with Ohio Health Corporation to provide wellness services for the Franklin County Cooperative Health Improvement Program in the amount of $3,600,000.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Jessica McCurdy, Employee Wellness Administrator with Franklin County Human Resources. This resolution approves a contract with Ohio Health Corporation for wellness administration services. Ohio Health Employer Solutions is the cooperative's current wellness administrator, and with this contract will continue providing core digital and on-site wellness services through December 31st, 2027. The contract also expands the role of our dedicated Ohio Health Wellness Consultant, which is an integral role in supporting individual agencies and tailoring on-site programs to address the culture and needs of agency staff. Ohio Health has been a strong and valuable partner. They have worked collaboratively with us and our other vendors to help move the Thrive On program forward. The success of this strategic partnership resulted in an opportunity to share our program with others at the Health Enhancement Research Organization, or HERO, annual forum. HERO is a nonprofit dedicated to identifying and sharing best practices in the field of workplace health and well-being programs. They are nationally recognized and focus heavily on research and data. After a months-long application process completed in partnership with Ohio Health, our abstract on the topic of leveraging data, vendor collaboration, and wellness champions to evolve your wellness program was selected. We were one of only 24 proposals invited to present. Our presentation highlighted how Thrive On has impacted the behaviors and health of our population, including an increase in members with a primary care provider, year-over-year improvements in breast, cervical, and colon cancer screening since 2019, and a 2% decrease in our cohort population with 3 or more biometric risk factors. The one-on-one support our members receive from our health engagement nurses and on-site EAP consultant was underscored by sharing several testimonials from members. One member lowered their A1C, a key diabetic marker, almost 2.5 points in 6 months. Another sought support while navigating the loss of a spouse. Finally, we shared how our strong wellness champion network, in collaboration with our Ohio Health Wellness Consultant, can be leveraged to address the culture of health across many agencies and locations. As the Employee Wellness Administrator, but also as an employee myself, I want to take this time to say thank you to our county commissioners and county administration. The work that we do and the successes that we've achieved would not be possible without your support of the Cooperative and Thrive On program. Pending any questions, I respectfully ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 80824.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Abstain.
Resolution number 80824 has been adopted with Commissioner Boyce's noted abstention.
Thank you.
Thank you. Purchasing.
Resolution number 80924, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $1,667,919.81.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan
Morning.
Perry Balanier, Director of Purchasing, and joining me is Andrina Austin, Economic Equity Administrator for the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This resolution requests your approval of 106 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding, and I'll turn it over to Andrina for the supplier diversity data.
Thank you, Megan. Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. 15 of the purchase orders being presented are being awarded to small and emerging businesses, totaling $272,993.50. These awards are distributed as follows: 4% to small emerging businesses, 8% to women-owned businesses, and 2% to minority-owned businesses. Once approved, 9 agencies will provide equitable and inclusive opportunities to small businesses this week. And these agencies are Child Support Enforcement, Court of Appeals, Court of Common Pleas, the Data Center, Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court, the Engineer's Office, General Services, Prosecuting Attorney's Office, and the Sheriff's Department. Year-to-date, Franklin County Board of Commissioner agencies have awarded 470 purchase orders totaling $20,661,389.46. And pending any of your questions or comments, we respectfully request your approvals.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of resolution 80924.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 80924 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Resolution number 81024, resolution approving one purchase order for the Franklin County Justice Programs for Volunteers of America's Ohio and Indiana in the amount of $300,000.
As stated, Commissioners, this is a resolution requesting your approval of one purchase order. The county auditor has pre-certified available funding. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 81024.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Abstain.
Resolution number 81024 has been adopted with Commissioner O'Grady's noted abstention.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any journalizations?
We have one. Case number ANX-18-24, an expedited Type 2 annexation petition, ANX-18-24, was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on October 8th, 2024. The petition is requesting to annex 0.5 acres from Blendon Township to the City of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on November 19th, 2024. The site is Minerva Avenue, PID number 110-002735 and 110-002734.
Okay, that concludes our regular agenda. Are there any questions from any members of the media? Okay, seeing that there are none, that concludes our meeting. Thank you so much.
Happy Tuesday.